once again. Welcome to Fred's Footy Fest, and today we'll be looking at round 10 of the NRL Premiership. Yep, here we are, Magic Round. And to kick us off is tonight's clash between the Bulldogs and the Raiders. Now last week, both these teams got a win. The Bulldogs beating the Dragons and the Raiders beating the Dolphins in a Golden Point thriller, which many people thought that it was undeserved. But hey, the officials said they got the win. So it is what it is. And for this game, I think I'm going to tip the Raiders. They look to have the better side on paper, and lately they have been performing better than the Bulldogs. So I'm going to say my margin will be 8 points for Canberra to win. However, I wouldn't write the Bulldogs off. They can be a good side when they want to, and they have a chance against the teams that aren't that good. So I'll tip the Raiders, but I won't be surprised if Bulldogs get the win. Moving on, later tonight is a clash between Manly and the Broncos. This game's in Brisbane, as it's Magic Round obviously, but it's Manly's home game. So if you're a Broncos fan, you'd probably be a bit disgusted with this, but I reckon Broncos should get the win, so the fans will be pretty happy. This will be an absolute blowout. Ezra Mam and Payne Haas are returning from suspension. They're back in the team. And last week, Manly lost to the Titans. So that's not like Manly. Whereas the Broncos lost to the Rabbitohs, but the Rabbitohs have been a good side this year. And the Broncos were missing 2 players. And they were star players. So I think the Broncos should bounce back from their loss and really put big points on Manly. I'm expecting this to be a thrashing. 3 o'clock on Saturday is a clash between the Warriors and the Panthers. Now last week, the Warriors lost to the Roosters, whereas the Panthers had the greatest upset ever put on them. They lost to the Tigers. That is very embarrassing. The Tigers got their first win of the season, and Penrith, they just can't play wet weather footy. Not only that, but they had at least 5 players out due to injury. That's pretty sad for Panthers, but I think they can bounce back this week. They have James Fisher-Harris and Spencer Leniu back in the team, and hopefully the weather will be a lot better. And I can't see Panthers losing 3 weeks in a row. That's not like the Premiership powerhouse. 5:30, also at Suncorp, is a clash between the Sharks and the Dolphins. Now last week the Sharks flogged the Cowboys on Thursday night, whereas the Dolphins lost to the Raiders on Saturday in Golden Point. I think Sharks should easily get the job done. I reckon they'll be the team to beat this year. They've easily shown it too so far. So Sharks should get the job done here. And 7:45 tomorrow night, easily the game of the round, Melbourne Storm and the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Now, we all know that Melbourne Storm love Brisbane, so this could be an advantage for them. Whereas last week they had the bye and the Rabbitohs beat the Broncos, I think this will be a close one, but I think because it's in Brisbane, I think Melbourne will play their best footy. 1:50 on Sunday is a clash between the Tigers and the Dragons. Hooray for the Tigers fans, you finally got a win this season. Will they keep it up, or will it be their only win of the season? I can't see them winning this week. I think the Dragons should do them, but hey, if they use that win from last week as a bit of inspiration, I think they should get the job done, the Tigers. But honestly, I can't see them getting the win against the Dragons. Moving on, 4 o'clock is a clash between the Roosters and the Cowboys. Now, by the way the Cowboys are going, it looks like they might end up with the spoon if the Tigers continue getting wins. Because the Cowboys, they've just been terrible. Easily, they're looking like one-hit wonders lately. They did really well last year, and all of a sudden they're going back to where they were in 2021. So the Roosters should flog the Cowboys this week, I reckon. And the final match to wrap up Magic Round is a clash between the Titans and the Eels. Now last week the Titans got a win against the Manly, which was a pretty big upset. Whereas the Eels continued their strive to get back into the grand final by beating the Knights. This game, I'm easily tipping the Eels. They'd be hungry for that grand final win, as they were easily beaten by Penrith last year. They will want to get back into that game and win the premiership. Whether that happens or not, Eels are going to try their best, and therefore I think they should easily beat the Titans on that game. That's my Magic Round tips, everyone. I'll see you next week for some more great games. And that'll be round 11. Storm and Broncos on the Thursday night. Everyone will want to watch that game. Panthers play the Roosters on the Friday night. 2 good nighttime games, and they're both on Channel 9. And there'll be some other good games to watch as well. But they're the main ones. And I'll see you next week. Bye.